Today, crypto prices fall as inflation hits a 40-year high. MasterCard partners with several marketplaces to let cardholders buy NFTs. And a number of countries are launching digital currencies. We explain the benefits and the risks. Welcome to CNBC's Crypto World. I'm Kate Rooney. Digital assets are falling yet again today after the latest economic data recording inflation reaching its highest level in 4 decades. Sky-high prices are spooking investors on Wall Street and in crypto markets alike. After rallying to $31,000 on Monday, Bitcoin now heads into the weekend about 1% lower in the past 7 days or so. Ether is down about 2.2% since then. Solana is down about 0.2% in the past week. Let's catch you up on the top stories. First, MasterCard will partner with several exchanges to let its more than 2 billion cardholders buy NFTs. The payment processor announced it's working with MoonPay, The Sandbox, and others to bring direct purchases with cards. MasterCard already has a partnership with Coinbase to let its cardholders buy NFTs without creating a crypto wallet or buying Ether. Next, Seth Green paid nearly $300,000 to be reunited with his Bored Ape NFT. Green lost his ape, named Fred Simeon, through a phishing attack last month, and the NFT was then sold to a collector. While according to BuzzFeed News, the actor paid $297,000 to reclaim his lost Bored Ape. Green is set to release an animated TV show based on his collection of NFTs, including Fred. Finally, Jamaica's Senate unanimously passed a bill to make the country's digital currency legal tender. The bill gives the country's central bank the authority to issue the Jamaican Digital Exchange Currency, or JAMDEX. The currency is only offered through the Link wallet. The latest approval comes after a pilot program back in 2021, and Jamaica is not alone in exploring a central bank digital currency, or CBDC. More than 100 nations around the world are researching the technology. China, Venezuela, and several Caribbean nations have already launched a digital currency themselves, and experts have pointed to the potential to reach millions of unbanked people around the globe. Others, though, point to the potential flaws, like the traceability of these digital assets in the wrong hands. Crypto World explored the potential of these currencies and the potential risks.
The United States might be on the brink of creating a digital dollar. In March, President Biden signed an executive order tasking federal agencies with exploring crypto regulations, including the development of a central bank digital currency.
President Biden will sign this executive order today. Now, this order calls understanding how a central bank digital currency might work urgent.
The U.S. isn't alone. A growing number of countries are looking into digital versions of their currencies. More than 100 countries, representing more than 95% of the world's GDP, are looking to create their own digital currencies. Proponents of CBDCs say a digitized currency can provide more access to the unbanked, allow for faster transactions, and reduce illicit activities. But there are also concerns. Unlike cryptocurrency, CBDCs are centralized. They are issued and controlled by government entities, just like fiat currency. In unstable or authoritarian countries, that could lead to currency manipulation.
There's no government, there's no person that can just print Bitcoin into infinity, right? There's a cap to it, which is different from the way that some governments operate, which is they can ostensibly keep printing money, which would devalue that nation's currency. We've seen that all over the world.
Venezuela has been with capital control since the early 2000s. We got to a peak where the inflation per year was over 1,000,000%. When you don't have control over your finance, you are not free.
Another concern, lack of privacy. According to the Bank of International Settlements, in order for CBDCs to ensure transparency and combat illicit activities, full anonymity is not plausible. CBDCs can also be programmed and personalized to only be spent on specific items or within a limited time frame. This function is called programmability.
Say a government wants to distribute aid to people after a natural disaster, right? So in theory, the way programmable money would work is okay, so I'm distributing this aid and you can only use this money for food or clothing or medicine, but you can't use it to go buy cigarettes. But the other side of that, I think, which people are concerned about is yeah, can you use that programmable money to like block certain people out of the financial system, or or restrict their freedom in some way? I think that makes a lot of people like very deeply uncomfortable.
This idea of personalized monetary policy is a theme that people aren't talking about today. It's probably one of the scariest things in finance, because if you hand people the tools to do it, they're going to do it.
These traits make CBDCs susceptible to abuse of power by authoritarian governments. In Venezuela, the government-issued CBDC known as Petro wasn't used to send stimulus. Instead, the government allegedly manipulated elections and used it for surveillance.
It was election year. The presidential elections were 3 months away from that. They kept saying that, okay, now I will give you the Petro. And they will give you the Petro in a paper. They will say, no, I'm giving you a Petro, and that's $60. That is how they keep using it, to tell you that I'm giving you free money. And with that, you can earn favors of the people. Then they created just a database, and on a database that they allow only governmental bodies that access to that database to say to the people, well, I'm sending you some Petros, but those Petros are not actually cryptocurrencies. They are not in any public blockchain.
China is no stranger to surveillance either, from monitoring the 850 million users on WeChat to deploying half the world's security cameras. And now the country has control of a digital currency in its sights. President Xi Jinping admitted in 2019 that the country wanted to improve its financial system by controlling people, watching money, and tightening the system firewall. 2020 research from the People's Bank of China also aligns the e-yuan with his endorsement. According to the white paper, the digital yuan is traceable by what they called managed anonymity. That means that it provides anonymity for small value and traceability for high value to combat money laundering and illicit activities. The e-yuan is still relatively new, but today it has up to 260 million users.
Before we go, Grayscale's Michael Sonnenschein discussed Bitcoin's close correlation with the NASDAQ. Here's what he said.
I think for a lot of investors, crypto and Bitcoin in particular continues to really be an area that's helping them to diversify their portfolios. I will say, though, that with this recent pullback in prices, a lot of the conversation has been less around the near-term volatility around crypto, and a lot more investors are focused on regulation and wanting regulatory clarity.
That's all for Crypto World this week, but we'll be back here again on Monday. Have a great weekend. We'll see you then.